Hi guys, we've arrived at Gloucester Airport and we are here because we are meeting some family and we're staying with them for a few days. But there are thunderstorms forecast for the next few days and we don't think we'll be able to bring the plane home again. So as a safety precaution, Daddy's
going home.
Daddy is there, he's on his way, he's going to fly home to Biggin and drive out to Gloucester to meet us. The flight was 100 miles and it took Daddy about an hour to get home.
And so off I went. I lined up on 09 and was cleared for immediate departure. I don't often fly solo, and especially after all the recent flights where we were at maximum takeoff weight, the plane felt really sprightly and it practically sprang into the air as I accelerated down the runway. I turned right before I got to that round building, which is GCHQ. I don't think they'd be very happy with me flying over the top of there. And then I headed southeast towards Brize Norton and then the complicated airspace around Farnborough. The first part of the flight was really straightforward. I planned a route between the gliding site at South Kearney and Kemble, but requested and was cleared through the Class D airspace at Brize Norton, which made the route a little more direct. As I was crossing their airspace, I was passed down the left-hand side by a pair of Chinooks. There's often a lot of debate about the safety of flying with a family on board in a single-engine plane, and the stresses involved as a pilot, which I thought I'd mention here. For sure, there is an element of danger, but there is with many things in life, I think, and we minimise them as much as we can. The plane is well maintained, and I keep my currency up to date. I'm also aware that with about 250 hours, I'm probably in that danger zone where pilots sometimes think that they're better than they are. As for the stress, I feel it more in the planning stages really, especially the night before the flight. I pay massive respect to the weather. I knew I would likely be flying IFR to Bournemouth, so planned accordingly, and also knew that there was no ILS at Havefordwest, so was already resisting the get there-itis a few days before. On these trips, the weight of the plane is carefully calculated. The kids can't even buy souvenirs. I had never been to any of the airports on this trip before, so that's also a consideration. I'm pretty good at setting my limits and aware of my limitations, and although not a pilot, Sue is great for sanity checking my decisions. Having said all this, it's exciting to push the boundaries slightly. I think that makes for a better pilot and better decision-making skills going forwards. And, like our poor weather trip to Newquay last year, I normally bore Sue with a good debrief and a few beers afterwards. I liken the stress or anxiety before these flights to the night before a big interview. I've done all the prep work and have so much information buzzing in my head that I feel I know all of the answers, but I don't know what the questions are yet. Once we take off and the questions and situations present themselves, the training and the planning make everything fairly simple and more relaxed and enjoyable. As I got nearer to London, it was time to start speaking to Farnborough. The airspace here is quite complicated, with the ATZs of Blackbush and Farnborough to avoid, Class A airspace above 2,500 feet and danger areas below you. I was given clearance without any delay and wiggled my way through at 2,000 feet and onto the home stretch. This corridor between Gatwick and Heathrow is fairly narrow, but it was quiet. There weren't really any other planes around. It was a little frustrating looking down at the traffic queuing on the M25, knowing I'd be in that queue driving back to where I'd just come from. I was cleared to position for a left base join for runway 03 at Biggin HIll. As you can see, you often get a bit of sink and wind shear as you cross the valley just before the threshold. You can't really see it from these pictures, but the plane surprised me at how much it floated down the runway. I guess I was used to it being so heavy over the last couple of weeks. So there we go, a really fun holiday. 6.5 hours of flying, nearly 700 miles, 4 new airports, coasteering in Wales, great weather on the beaches. We couldn't have asked for anything more. Oh, and it took me 3.5 hours to drive back to Gloucester.
Thanks for watching. That is the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. Like, subscribe, and whilst you're at it, hit the notification bells, ding ding, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!